Hello and welcome to the Piano Man's Library. So today I am going to do a tag video. This particular one was um, started by Shelley Swearinger, and it's the Worth Every Page, the big book tag. And she writes, big books can be intimidating, but some are absolutely worth the time, the effort, and the restraint. In this tag, share 3 or more books around 800 pages or longer that you believe earn every single page. Because I like big books, I had to join in. So, the first one that I want to talk about is actually, it's a nonfiction. This is Abigail Adams' Letters. And this is the Library of America edition. And it's all the letters that she sent to her husband, John Adams, who was the second president of the United States. And because they were a huge part of the American Revolution, they spent probably about half of their marriage apart. And so they wrote a lot of letters to each other. She wrote to her sisters and other people of influence and such of those times. And I think that if you want to know somebody, if you want to really know who people are, and you can have access to their letters, I think that tells an awful lot about those people. So that's why I'm including this in here. Some of the letters are very interesting and some are not. Sometimes, because you only get one side of what's going on, then you might miss out on a few of the important details as to why or when or where, but or who. But it's still very, very interesting, and it is worth it. So, the next one that I have, and these are in no particular order. Probably should have done them in the order which I read them or chronological, but I didn't. So, my next favorite book is Charles Dickens' Nicholas Nickleby. And this, he's a dear favorite of mine. I love Nicholas. I am reading Charles Dickens' books in order of publication. So this was number 3, and I'm only just finished, I think, number 6 or 7. So I can't get into some of his other big books that come along after this one because I haven't read them. But this one, he stole my heart. He stole my heart. What a good boy. A good son, a good brother. And he was put in some very impossible situations by his uncle, who should have been looking out for him, but didn't. He put him in these impossible situations. And It is an adorable story. It's trying. It makes you cry. Made me cry at least. Um, and I just I really really loved this story. So after his father passes away, he the family has basically no assets, and after they pay the debts off, so they go see the uncle in the city who he's a very greedy man. He loves his money. He doesn't want to share it. So he arranges for a place for Nicholas' mother and sister to live, but he also arranges employment for Nicholas in a very undesirable place, and also for the sister. And yes, so I don't want to say too much because it is a really good book, and I do recommend that everyone reads it. I think so, sure. Um, this one comes in. I didn't say how much. The letters for Abigail Adams come in, including the notes, 1,149 pages for the letters. And then for Nicholas Nickleby, including the notes, is 870 pages. Oh, I just noticed there's a further reading section on here. I'll have to look into that some more. But anyway, yes, love, love, love Nicholas. Okay, another book that I read, this was just last year, and this is Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. And this was a good book. Very dysfunctional family. Father and his sons, all of the sons are very different from each other. Some they go through periods of liking and not liking each other, depending on what is going on and how they can be used. And when the father dies, then we have a mystery going on. Who killed him? They're pretty sure it was one of the sons, but yeah, we need to figure out who. So there's a lot of psychological stuff going on in here. Family relations. One of the sons is contemplating a religious life, so he's the very good one. And then we have one that's more intellectual, business, possibly type son. And then you have one that was raised by someone else. Actually, they were all raised by different people. And, he's pretty sure that his father should be giving him more money, more of an inheritance. And the other household people. And it is an interesting book. Things just wind and um, especially once it gets into the interrogations and stuff. Yes. Um, Another book for which I highly recommend. Well, if I talk about big books, I have to talk about Tolstoy's War and Peace. Now, this is the edition that I read it out of, um, which is the Great Books edition. And in this book, one of these columns is a page in, say, a Penguin edition. And so it's exactly half of a regular book. But it still comes in at 696 pages. So when I read this in February, I read the equivalent of 50 pages a day for 28 days. So I think I finished it a day early because I just had to. But this is a very good book. I think I love it because it's a lot of history. And Tolstoy believed that it wasn't a novel, it was a history book. But it, of course, has war in it. And I love reading about conflicts. And I had the previous month read a Russian history from shortly after when this would have taken place up until the last Tsar. So I knew what was going on around that time. And yes, so the battles were interesting. And I think they would be for anyone. And then you have the aristocracy, the nobles, and what they were doing and how they were living before and during and after the battles, and how they served. Yes. And then you have love, and you have, I don't know if you would call it romance as much, but you have love stories, you have very sad points. There's everything in here, I think. So you have some philosophy and psychology. You have like all of the things. I'm sure that there's everything, something for everyone in this book. And I don't think that there's a page that you should miss. So there's that one. Now this one, she said around 800 pages. And this particular one comes in much less, so it's more of an honorable mention kind of a book. And it comes in around, okay, I'm not going to count the glossary. But to the end of the notes, this particular edition comes in at 633 pages. And it is a good sized book. The Iliad by Homer. And this is one of my favorites. It is, of course, another war story. The battle at Troy. And it it covers so much, so much. It covers relationships too, not specifically about women, but just friends and um, people that you serve with. And there's some family and stuff in here, but it's it is very good. It is very good. And don't let the writing style, don't let that get to you. It's good. Um, I can't even remember if I read it for the first time out of this edition or if I used the Great Books version. I'm not sure. But this one is translated by Robert Fagles, and I quite like him. I do. Yes, so this is a battle. This precedes, which a lot of people seem to like the Odyssey better because it's more adventurous and mythical. But I like this one. I like this one better. This is my choice, and I need to reread it again because it's that good. So those are the books that I think are worth every page, the big books. And let me know if you agree with me on those books, if you think that they're worth it, and if you have any others that you might suggest. I know I was going through the library picking, and I was like, oh, some of these, I thought they were a lot longer, but they're not. So I couldn't include them. But let me know what you think. Let me know. I'm so interested and excited to talk to you about it in the comments below. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.